Senator Canavan for 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Deputy President. Well, I think all North Queenslanders should be very concerned after the non-answers we heard today from the Minister for Industry. He was asked a very specific question by the Shadow Minister for Resources, Senator McDonald, about what is the government's plan to help save the 17,000 jobs in North Queensland that rely on the Townsville copper refinery and the Mount Isa copper smelter. The minister gave no answers. The Queensland government has put forward a proposal, and I recognise that Glencore has said that the Queensland government's proposal is not adequate to save these jobs. But this should be a partnership between the state and federal governments. As it stands, as we heard or didn't hear as it is from the Minister for Industry, the federal government has proposed no plan, no tangible action whatsoever to help save these jobs. The question that's got to be asked is what has the government been doing apart from congratulating itself on its election victory and saving its own jobs a few months ago? What is it doing to help save these jobs? What is also very concerning is that the minister failed to outline what exactly is the problem facing this industry and why these jobs are at risk. He probably doesn't want to do that because it would be embarrassing for the government to admit their own faults. But thankfully the Australian Workers' Union are not as shy as the minister. And in a Facebook post on the 8th of July, the Australian Workers' Union said that between skyrocketing energy prices, cheap dumping and tariff wars, smelters such as Nearstar and Glencore Mount Isa are up against a wall. And so it is very embarrassing for the government, for one of its own unions that notionally support it, to point out that skyrocketing energy prices are one of the reasons for why these jobs are on the line. This government came to power promising lower energy prices. They promised that net zero would deliver a cheaper energy future, and instead we have the circumstance 3 years later, after their initial election, of thousands of jobs being put at risk in this country because the government has failed on its promises. It has failed to run a functioning energy market in this country, and now industries that used to actually pay taxes and generate profits and generate wealth for our country are having to come to state and federal governments with their hand out for a taxpayer bailout to keep these jobs. It's about time. The first thing we need from this government is a plan to save these jobs. And the second thing we need is an admission of guilt here and fault, because the only way you're going to fix your problems is to first admit that you've got one. And we've got a big one in this government, and the skyrocketing energy prices we're all living with.